We did meet prior to this for executive session for personnel. If we could stand for a prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for beginning a new school year. I pray that you will protect and keep our students safe, be with our staff and administration and this board as we make decisions moving in the right direction for this district. We ask in your heavenly name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could have roll call, please.
Mrs. Fiorella,
Here.
Mr. Hope,
Here.
Mr. Gogolski,
Here.
Mr. Enslin,
Here.
Mr. Gershi,
Here.
Mr. Gambita,
Here.
Mr. Upland,
Here.
Mr. Schaefer,
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here.
Solicitor Meir is excused. Dr. Barrett,
Here.
Dr. La Rosa. Here. Ms. Emmett is here. Mr. Gogorski,
Here.
Mrs. Bradley.
Here.
Mr. Pigeon,
Here.
Mrs. Miller. Here. Ms. Watson,
Here.
Mr. Barr,
Here.
Mrs. Fitzsimmons,
Here.
Ms. DeKnight,
Here.
Ms. Geyer,
Here.
Mrs. Gregory,
Here.
Mrs. Liptak,
Here.
Mr. Seaman,
Excused.
Mr. Dunda,
Here.
and Mr. Black.
Here.
Mrs. Fiorella, you have 9 board members present.
Could I have a motion for number 6, please?
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held August 5th, 2019. I'll second it.
Motion was made by Mr. Gershi and then seconded by Mr. Hope. Are there any questions or comments on those? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? The motion does pass. A motion for number 7, please.
I move to accept the treasurer's reports from the general and food service accounts.
Second.
Motion was made by Jeff and then seconded by Mr. Boyd. Any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? The motion does pass. Mr. Gogolski, state recognition. Oh, I'm sorry. I went ahead of you, I apologize. If we could have a motion for number 8, please.
I move for the approval of bills from the general and food service accounts.
And I'll second.
Okay, again, the motion was made by Mr. Gogolski and then seconded by Mr. Wood. I apologize about that. Any questions and concerns on that one? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? That motion does carry. Sorry, Mr. Gogolski.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight we have 2 outstanding seniors that we'd like to recognize. The first of which is Catherine Mattern. Catherine is the daughter of Edward and Maria Mattern of Moscow.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine Mattern, and for those of you who know me, know that I go by Kate. I have been at Western Wayne since pre-K, and it's crazy to think that this is my final year. I'd like to begin tonight by thanking the Board of Education for having me here and acknowledging my successes. I would also like to thank my parents for supporting me and teaching me to always strive for my best work while reminding that everything does not have to be perfect. Western Wayne has provided me with many opportunities to enhance my education with AP and honors courses, along with numerous extracurricular activities. I have participated in many of these classes, with AP Calculus currently being the most challenging. Throughout my high school career, I have been on the principal's list for 10 out of the 12 total quarters since freshman year. I have also participated in NHS, PJAS, and FBLA. In FBLA, I had made it to nationals my sophomore year and placed 6th at states last year. I give credit to Ms. Lubosh for reminding me that even though dressing in business clothes and going to meetings is not my favorite thing to do, I should always study and try to advance in the competition. There is always an opportunity to learn, meet new people, and make new memories. Outside of school, I have been an avid equestrian for 11 years. I have participated and won many awards in 4-H, the American Quarter Horse Association, and the Interscholastic Equestrian Association, where I was the team captain last year. Moving forward, I plan to attend a college studying a major based in science or math. I also plan to join an equestrian team where I can ride competitively. I would like to conclude tonight by again thanking you all for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Up next, I would like to recognize and introduce Sinclair Ogoff. Sinclair is the daughter of Marla Ogoff of Lake Area.
Hi, I'm Sinclair Ogoff. Tonight, I would like to thank the Board of Education for recognizing me for this award, and my mom and my sister for helping me come this far in my school career. To start, I've had a very rigorous academic career throughout high school in both Coughlin and Western Wayne. Since 9th grade, I've taken as many honors courses as I can, and when the opportunity arose, I enrolled in AP classes that I felt would interest me and strengthen my career goals. On one of the AP classes here at Western Wayne that helped me decide a career path was AP Government, which is taught by Ms. Wayman. In her intriguing and captivating class about U.S. government, it made me want to continue in a career path focused in the public sector. While taking challenging courses in school, I also participate in many extracurricular activities such as Cats Club and youth groups. In my free time, I volunteer at places including Lackawanna Sanctuary and many other places like the SVCA. With the help of Mrs. McClure, I was able to start my senior project there and continue research there as well. One activity that has really changed my life, though, is the Wildlife Leadership Academy. Thanks to Mrs. Mazenkai, I was able to get hands-on learning experience in wildlife and talk with professionals in the field as well. This one-week program, which focused heavily on the environment, strengthened my love for the earth and the need for activism. On top of all of that, I also participate in sports. For 3 years in the fall, I did volleyball and traveled for one as well. This year, I decided to join the girls' tennis team, which I really enjoyed too. In the winter last year, I also joined the track team and competed indoor and outdoor. After high school, I plan on continuing my education in college, and I have plans on majoring in public policy and environmental science, in hopes that I can combat the environmental crisis and save the world. Thank you again for acknowledging my achievements, and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Sinclair. I'd just like to close by saying that in addition to all the accomplishments listed by Sinclair and Catherine, those two young ladies carried the highest GPA throughout all of last year and in the junior class leading into their senior year, both of which were over 100% when you consider the factor of the honors and AP courses that they've taken, which is an outstanding accomplishment. Credit to you, credit to your parents also. Congratulations.
We as a board just would like to congratulate both of you. That is so impressive. And we just wish you the best of luck in your upcoming year. So congratulations. Thank you. Okay. Anyone from the public? Okay. Okay.
Just make sure. So I don't have an elaborate letter like Catherine or Sinclair have discussed, nor do I have some crazy resume. But I do want to bring forth the issue of the ban on backpacks.
Can you just state your name?
Gary Guinance.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So me and Hudson have both taken the speakers for the several classes that have participated in the band, and we've come up with reasons. She has a bunch of printed letters that she will hand out to you guys.
Okay, sure.
And I actually have a brief list of the issues. I have a couple solutions, and in the end, kind of controversial, I have some key weak points that I could point out to you guys. I don't feel like it would be safe to point out in public,
Okay.
but just in case you guys wanted to see that. So, just a few, but not limited to, of the issues with the ban on backpacks. I know you guys banned them in regard to mostly safety, which alludes to vapes, illegal substances, weapons, etc. And a couple of issues with such a ban, though, is that more often than not, vapes aren't often carried in backpacks. And even with the ban on backpacks, you can still carry them in pockets. With cargo shorts, you can put multiple in your pockets. Followed by that, you can still fit drugs in your pockets. Backpacks have not caused an elaborate safety issue as of yet. Simply put, they've only had an increased usage of vapes in bathrooms and such. But on top of that, lockers are not that large in the high school, as we all know, and it's not always easy to fit everything in there. But if you don't ban the backpacks and we continue to use them, we can still continue high preparedness. During classes, you have all of your stuff with you, and on top of that, it creates more ergonomics for the students. It's not as hard to carry books in your hands if you could just have them on your back in the backpack with straps attached. On the issue with weapons, obviously you can fit weapons in the backpacks, but that doesn't eliminate the issue of still bringing the weapons in the backpacks into the school, into the locker. And on top of that, we all know what concealed carry is. You can still fit a pistol in your pockets, or not necessarily in your pockets, but in your pants. And you can do it very easily, and it's just as easy to pull it out during, like, say, lunch period. And that's that. In regards to vaping in the back of classrooms, I feel like that's more of a teacher issue. You can't always protect against that with banning backpacks, as obviously I stated earlier, you can fit them in your pockets. So you can still take them out, use it in the back of the classroom, and it's not an easy issue to solve whether you ban the backpacks or not. A couple solutions that I have to this, though, are obviously, I'm sure you guys have heard of the whole metal detectors thing that many people have been bringing up, and I know that might be an expensive option, but just an option to consider anyway. Another expensive option would be bulletproof glass in the lunchrooms. Not exactly tied into the whole ban of backpacks, but it can still increase safety, as someone who brought in a gun, they can't simply shoot through the windows. They would have to go through that doorway in the lunchrooms, and we have officers ready to fight back with that. On top of that, we can have more security in the halls, especially during lunches and during the beginning of the day in dismissal, where a multitude of students are usually traveling. And to prevent any weapons being brought out in the bathrooms or using vapes in the bathrooms, we can have a lunch table that's stationed outside the bathroom where the students put their backpacks, use the bathroom, come out and retrieve the backpack. That'll prevent them from putting them in the backpacks, though not entirely prevent them from pulling them out of their pockets. And that goes with the weapons too. But we still have some sort of barrier there which reduces the effectiveness of pulling any illegal items out. And then obviously we have teachers and officers who are usually by the bathrooms watching, and we can still increase their position there, like having them there more often so that students don't get their backpacks stolen, obviously. And then inadvertently, it'll be impossible to completely eliminate or control the illegal substances, as well as prevent any situations with mass shootings. But banning the carrying of backpacks does not seem to have a desired outcome for students, staff, or parents in theory, and so far in practice. There has been no research with schools who have already banned them as to whether they increase safety or not. But that is all I have. I'll let Hudson speak for him.
So, just to kind of piggyback off of that also, I did have a meeting with Mr. Barr and Mr. Grigorski, and the main reasoning sort of behind the ban that they voiced to me was that you wouldn't have all of your stuff with you at once. And in the email sent to students, it was said that we can carry a small purse or something like that. But many students have been bringing messenger bags and much larger purses than I think were intended, but no repercussions have been brought against them for that. So since those larger bags are still allowed in the high school and people are still carrying them, as I italicized it in the letter that I passed around, those are still acting the same way that backpacks were acting before. And everyone is still carrying all of their items with them on a daily basis. So all of those like potential paraphernalia can still be concealed within those bags as they're acting the same as backpacks were previously.
We believe that is all we have?
Well, first of all, thank you both for your concern. You did a fantastic job presenting. You really did.
Good job.
Very impressive.
Thank you, I'm not really,
We appreciate your.
You should be. You handled it well.
Yeah, but we appreciate your candor and your sincerity as well as your approach to it. You know, I encourage you to speak with Mr. Gorsky and Mr. Barr again as the year goes on. We are adhering to that policy until further notice, okay? But that will be in place and continue to be so. We will continue to monitor it. You make some very valid points that are accurate. However, there is no fix-all in this situation. The goal is to try to minimize any potential harmful situation that students may put themselves or others in. We realize that the backpacks isn't going to fix all that. And you're right about carrying things on the person. But we're making efforts in many areas, not just from a backpack standpoint, but from a procedural standpoint, from a staff standpoint, things that you were bringing up. You know, we have more staff in the halls. We have an extra, another school police officer. We're collaborating with the state police. You'll probably see them circling the campus almost on a daily basis at this point, correct? Actually, a couple months ago, I presented to the board things we've put in place as a district in the past year, and it's over 2 pages of both procedural and equipment that we've added to our campuses to help make it as safe as we can possibly make it. It's not to punish the students by any means. We understand that you may have a class on one end and have to travel to the other end. We've asked the teachers to be accommodating of that and to be understanding, to work with the students until we can get it a little bit more stabilized and comfortable with what it is we're doing. If at the end we find out that it's not working, we'll reconsider it, you know, at that point as well. I know the seniors don't know this, and other students in the building at this point, with the exception of freshmen, because they weren't allowed up until 9th grade anyways to carry them, but up until 3 years ago, I want to say 2.5, 3 years ago, they weren't allowed in the high school. The backpacks weren't allowed as far back as I know. I know the administration was trying to be accommodating of kids carrying more and more stuff with athletics, going from one building to the other, because there were classes going from the middle school over to the high school and vice versa, because we had to share teachers. So there was a lot that went into it. So they tried it out to see how it went, and there were a lot of repercussions administratively that was the result of allowing it. So we decided to go back to where we started, work out some of the kinks again, and see if we can come up with another solution. But as of now, I know it's not favorable for you in terms of carrying, and it's an inconvenience for sure. But at this point, we believe that it's necessary at the moment.
All right, now on the point of other bags, such as gym bags and whatnot, what is the difference between a kid who carries around, say, a gym bag from first to second period so he can put it in a gym locker if they don't have time in the morning, or just a large enough bag in general comparable to a regular backpack? Is there any?
Well, first of all, what the content should be in that bag, which is your sneakers and athletic wear, and the size should be, what is it? This big, you know, I guess this big, the size of the paper. If students are walking around with other bags, going back to the point about staff management, that should be a staff management component that is being addressed with the individual student. Okay. And honestly, sometimes, you know, the first period teacher doesn't see the student with it because maybe they don't have it on them, or they go to the locker and get it in between classes, and then, you know, they go to the second period teacher, and maybe they address the student at that point. And in the meantime, 50 kids saw a kid walking down the hall with the backpack on. So that's some of sometimes things like that happen, we understand, but again, give it some time. We're not dismissing any of what you said, because you're correct in many instances. But I think it's a good step at this point to help minimize some of the infractions that were taking place over the course of the last several school years.
Okay.
Yes?
Now, am I to understand the main reason that they decided not to have backpacks was because of weapons? I mean, or is it because of
There were many
the
of-
vape paint?
Well,
the
it
vape
was a-
pens?
It was a mix of all of the things.
Right.
Because you would have a student that caught vaping,
Right.
the student would be searched, the
Mhm.
lockers would be searched, the vehicle would be searched,
Sure.
and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, we were stuck in situations where it was much larger than we ever anticipated.
Mhm.
And that happened on several occasions, which we really haven't had those in the past. Mr. Gorski, do you want to add to it?
Like my
No, I mean, I would say recently, and especially leading up to last year, there was a significant uptake in the amount of unauthorized items that were in the building that were significant disciplinary concerns.
That were found in the back.
Absolutely. And again, I don't think there's any doubt, at least there's no doubt in my mind that that restricted access to backpacks and not having them accessible throughout the entire school day will have a decrease in those instances of unauthorized items being in the school and being carried throughout the school day.
Okay, well, because the reason I'm asking is because I found clear backpacks that you can see in.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
Yes.
there's nothing the kids can hide then.
Which is mentioned also in the letter.
Right. And I mean, that's just another solution that the kids would be, the reason I'm saying that is because there are kids in the schools that are in these AP courses and these college courses, and, you know, these are kids that want to be prepared. You know, and for some of the kids, it's a matter of security. You know, that they know that every single thing is there, all their folders are there, their notebooks are there, their pens, their pencils, you know, all that stuff is right there. And that, I think,
And that's.
it's not necessarily
Initially, and
fair
that's
to
kind of why
them.
we went the other way with
Right.
allowing them, you know, a little bit at a time.
Right.
But honestly, it became almost overbearing.
Right, and I
The
understand
amount of
that you have
infractions.
backpacks and you can't see in them.
Right.
But if they were to have a clear backpack, what would, you know what I'm saying, like, what would that hurt? That you can, I mean, you can, the kids can walk through the door and you can see what's in there,
Sure, and.
you know?
we-
I mean, that's just a suggestion, and I mean, I think that
Absolutely,
that
and again,
is-
we encourage the students to come up to us at any time with suggestions or concerns.
Right.
We will be happy
Yeah.
to go over them, and if there's something we could do to balance it, we'll be sure to do so. It's just, we want to give it some time to work out some of the details on our end, and see how, get some data, look at how things are progressing.
So at this point, can